Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting ready together, and with everything going on around us, I just thought it would be fun to just sit down, relax, play with some new makeup, and put together a look that reminds at least me to remain cool, calm, and collected. I think that we all could use those reminders. And along with that theme, I am excited to be using this new palette from Sydney Grace. So many of you have asked me for recommendations for a cool toned eyeshadow palette, and I think you all might love this. So this is what we're going to be using today. I've also had a request to do a blue eyeshadow look, a green eyeshadow look, so I think we're going to be having some fun digging into the colorful parts of this palette. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so aside from that eyeshadow palette, I also have several other kind of new or new-ish products I'm going to be using. So one of them is the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I used this in one of the tutorials in my recent 311, and I've been testing this out. As you know, I love the original untinted version of this, and I do also really love this. I think the other one, the original, has slightly better staying power, but I love that this provides a little bit of coverage on the lid. While that sits on the eyes, I'm going to use another product that I've been testing out for a couple of weeks, and this is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup, and it's broad spectrum SPF 45. So I've seen some rave reviews on this, and it took me a little while to kind of get in my groove with this. Even though it says moisturizing makeup, I still would apply my normal moisturizer, and I did not like this at all. So because of my combination skin, I skipped moisturizer, and that was the secret for me. However, if you are a dry skin girl, you are still going to need to apply moisturizer, and let me show you why. So this has a pump. You do need to shake it, and for me, my perfect amount is 2 pumps. And then I like to work this in with my fingers. Now, as I've worked that in, it does kind of dry and set down fairly quickly. This is one that I actually don't like to have to build up because I think it just kind of doesn't look quite as nice on the skin. For me though, like I said, I found that it works best on my combination textured skin if I don't put on moisturizer first. I feel like if I moisturize first, it's too much moisturizer, but without moisturizer, I feel like it would be way too dry for those of you who have dry skin. So you're still gonna wanna moisturize, but when you smooth it in, you're still gonna see a little bit of some texture until it kind of dries down. But once it sets on the skin, I have found this to look really nice. And it does have like I think it's a cucumber. There's cucumber in that scent. So it's not off-putting, but there is definitely a scent to it, but that dissipates pretty quickly. I would say it's a medium coverage. I don't feel like I can get this to all the way to full coverage, but I still think it looks really nice on mature skin. And it lasts on me about the 6 hour mark. I need to powder. If I don't powder by 8 hours, it's going to be breaking down. But I feel like if I powder, I can get it to wear pretty well for about 10 hours. And I should tell you, my shade is 1W2 Sand. So this is kind of on the lighter end of their color range, and I have some sunless tanner on. So that might be a little bit of the trick, is finding, if you're on the paler skin side, it might be a little tricky to find your color match, but I feel like because it's not full coverage, it's a little more forgiving. So now we're gonna go into this new eyeshadow palette. So this is a brand, Sydney Grace, that I had not been familiar with at all. I'd seen some YouTubers talk about it, And she also sells individual shadows as well. So I purchased a couple of extra shades when I bought this palette, but this is called the Enduring Love palette, and I just love this. If you read the story about it, basically they put pairs, so they named the shadows after very popular romantic couples through the ages. And so we have Romeo and Juliet, we have Albert and Victoria, we've got John and Abigail, and then in the center here are three characteristics of love. So cherish, passion, devotion, and then we have Darcy and Elizabeth, one of my favorite movies, Boaz and Ruth, of course, one of the great love stories of the Bible. And then these two shades, which are Robert and Deanna, are the grandparents of the two sisters that own this company. So I just think it's such a sweet theme to the palette. All of these shadows are just super buttery, and overall, like I said, it's a very cool tone. This is the light palette, and they have a dark one as well. So I'm gonna get started here. Now, the only thing that I feel is missing from here is a matte brow bone eyeshadow color. You know, I like to start with that. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this. This has a little bit of a pearly sheen, but we're gonna go real lightly. So I'm using the E50, and I'm gonna use this right under the brow. It's not overly shimmery, so I think it will work for it. Now, I have only used this palette once, and I did kind of a more neutral look. So today we're gonna deep dive into some color, but we're still gonna kind of keep it wearable. I'm gonna start off here first with Cherish. And these colors actually I found came off with a little more depth than I thought they would, which is a nice thing. So you can see, I mean, just one time, and that's this color. So they look like they're not going to show up, but they really do show up very nicely. Okay, we're gonna stop there for the moment, and then we're gonna darken up this outer corner a little bit. I'm gonna go in with Robert. No, I'm gonna go in with Passion. Let's use this shade. Nice and cool tone, since that is the name of the game today. And that's a really nice, soft, kind of plummy gray color. So it's not too stony cold. I feel like, I mean, I am a warm skin tone girl, and when I did another look with this, with these grays, I actually really liked it. So, okay, let's have a little fun here. All right, so we are going to go right at the lash line. Where's my brush I want to use here? Okay, I'm gonna use this Sigma Firm Shader. It's E57. It's kind of a smaller, dense, packed brush, and I'm gonna go in first with this gray shade called Boaz. We're gonna pair Boaz and Ruth together in this look. What I'm gonna do first is just really kind of pounce this into my lash line, and putting this all the way across, kind of creating almost like I have eyeliner on. And look how that pigment lays right down. I am not having to work at all, and partly because of this brush, but I am not seeing tons of fall down, which is really good. Really like to see that. Okay, and then I am going to, because the blue in this palette is a shimmer, I'm going to use this gray, matte gray, to take right up to the corner, because I don't want to put shimmer all the way into the corner of my eye. If you have mature eyelids, you know why. Just gonna take a little bit more there. Make sure my eyes are kind of even. All right, and then I'm gonna wipe off that brush really well, and I'm gonna go in now with the shade right next to it. It's beautiful, and this is Ruth. And so again, this has shimmer, and we are going to now go right on top of that line. So almost right where that line stops, we're gonna start our blue, and we're going to keep this below the crease. and I'm gonna start like an angle up towards the edge because I'm gonna try and fit in one more color. We'll see. We're just playing today with some makeup and we're gonna come up with something fun. So I decided, hey, if you're gonna have some extra time on your hands, why not pull out your makeup and play, right? Do something different. That is a beautiful shade. It comes off with enough blue, but it's not, I don't know, it's not scary blue. It has a tiny little bit of some green in there, but it still is overall blue. I think that's a gorgeous color. Okay, and then wipe off that brush really well. And it's a little hard there. You can kind of see this shade right here, which is called John. This has a tiny little hint of green to it, like a spring green. So I'm going to see, let's just pack this on our brush and let's just see how this looks. We're gonna fill in kind of that gap going to the corner. And we are going to overlap that blue shade just a little bit. And these shadows do seem to be picking up quite well on this brush. Sometimes you need a more densely packed brush, but if you're having difficulties picking up a shimmer shadow, you know, you can always use your finger. But I just kind of wanted a little more control these shades, and that's working nicely. So I'm overlapping that blue just a little bit and was able to really get kind of a nice amount of pigmentation. Now, if I use my finger, I am sure, oh yeah, see that intensity? So if you want more intensity, use your finger. Less, you can use your brush. Okay, and now I'm going to go back and add just a little more of the blue shade called Ruth. And we're going to just kind of marry those two shades together. I love that. Okay, so through the crease, I'm going to use a little bit of Passion on the M433. And being careful not to really disturb those shimmer shades, I'm just going right at the edge of that and then working it into that other kind of crease color that we first put down. And then out here on the corner, you can use a little more of that to blend that shade. Okay, and then what I did over here is I just took this single color, it's in the shade Drift. It's a matte, almost white color, cool tone kind of cream, and I'm gonna use my E50, and I'm just gonna knock down that shimmer along the brow bone, because sometimes if you've got shimmer on the lid or something dramatic, shimmer along the brow bone can just kind of, I don't know, detract a little bit from it and just kind of start looking a little too crazy. So I'm just gonna place a little bit of that right under the brow bone, and it doesn't take away completely the sheen, but it dials it back just a little bit. Okay, on the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with Urban Decay pencil in Sabbath. This is a really pretty navy blue shade. You could, if you wanted more of a marine blue color, go in with the shade Mainline. It's this one right here. It's really pretty too. So, but I'm gonna stick with this deep dark navy. This is a really pretty color. Okay, for my upper lash line, I think I want to add a little bit of black liner. This is from Lottie London. It's the AM to PM liner in black. These are so good, and I think they're like $4.50. But they're a little hard for us to get in the US. You got to get them online through Ulta. So throw one of these in your bag the next time you're making a purchase. And I mean, these stay so well, and they stay really well on the waterline too. So I'm just gonna put this right at the roots. And because we have all those dark shades, you don't have to be super precise, which is nice. The lower lash line, let's just kind of set that liner in place. So I'm going to start off first with a little bit of Passion on the Morphe M432. Use this kind of to fade that blue line in towards the inner corner. And then over the top of the blue part, I am going to go back in with a little more of Ruth. I don't mind a little bit of shimmer on the lower lash line. I think it's very pretty. And then I'm just going to connect it right there with the outer corner. And I'll take a little more of Passion and just kind of go below that. And then if you need to, go back with just a little bit more of that deep dark gray shade right in the outer corner. This eye I don't have to, but I have uneven eyes, so sometimes I have to go back to one eye or the other just to make sure everything's evened out. All right, let's clean up under the eye and then we'll apply the rest of the makeup. For under eye concealer, I'm going to start off with just a tiny little bit of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealing or Corrector Concealer, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of that here. Now with blue eyeshadow, it's really important to make sure you cover up those dark circles because it's going to bring out any gray or blue tones under your eyes. So make sure you put on a good concealer. And then for my actual concealer, I've been testing out the new one by e.l.f. This is their hydrating camo concealer. And I've had just like mixed experience with it. So I'm preparing kind of an almost all full face of e.l.f. products. So I'll let you know my final thoughts on this in that video. But for now, we're gonna use this, and I have the shade Medium Peach. You can see it's still pretty light, so they're a little tricky to find your shade match, but they do have a lot of options, so that's a good thing. For powder, I'm using the Becca Hydra Mist powder. This is my favorite to use with that Estee Lauder Futurist makeup, and I'm using my Laura Mercier Puff to apply it, and I just love how this cancels out the rest of my pores and kind of fine lines. It just kind of really disguises them, and it does a really good job of keeping my foundation a little more on the matte side, which is what I prefer, but I have heard from several of you that aren't combination that still love this powder. So it does have water in it, so it's not drying, but I just love how it instantly perfects the skin. All right, for bronzer and contour, I think I'm going to start off with this bronzer. This is the Bare Minerals bronzer in the shade Warmth. I like this for the winter time. So I'm going to use the 919 from Sedona Lace and apply a little bit of this on the cheeks. And then I think I'm going to add a little extra contour with a Makeup Geek contour powder. They recently redid all of their products and had a massive sale on their old products, and I got a contour powder for like $2. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So if you haven't checked out their website, I don't know if the sale is still going on, but their eyeshadows were from like $1.50 to $2.25, and then they had their blushes, their blush pans like this for like $2.25. So This is the new shade that I purchased, and this is Half-Hearted Warm Medium. Now she just redid everything. Now they're in square shapes, and I don't know if she's redone the contour powders, but the eyeshadow powders or eyeshadows I've heard are pretty much the same. So you can get your hands on this, but let's try this. This is Warm Medium. Woo, that is really pigmented. Whoa. I'm just using, this is the FO5 from Sigma, and just gonna add a tiny little bit extra contour. So what you're gonna notice is I'm going to kind of make sure I have some warmth on the rest of my face, and then I might add a tiny little bit of warmth through the crease of the eye once I get my cheeks done. So tiny little bit of that on the sides of the nose. And then I'm going to blend that in. The good thing about those powders is they're very pigmented, but they blend so nicely into the skin. So at first they can look a little scary. Okay, so for blush, a lot of you ask how I figure out what blush color to use, and I've just been spending the last minute trying to decide which one. So I've decided on this Burt's Bees one, and this is in the shade, what is it? Shy Pink. So you can see this has cooler pink tones, and I am going to be pairing this with a cooler tone on the lip. Normally, I do love to pair blues and turquoise with more of a peachy pink. This would be a warmer pink color, and you can see that just totally changes the look. So I might still go through the crease with a little something, but if I were to do this more peachy color, I would need to go back to the palette and add a little more peach through the crease of the eye just to kind of make everything work together. So there you go, there's the logic. But I'm gonna go with the cool tone since we're keeping this cool, calm, collected, right? And so I'm going to use just my E4 from Morphe and that Shy Pink shade. And it's just, so a lot of people are afraid to even add any color blush when they're doing a strong eye, but I feel like if you keep it in the same tone, so cool tone, warm tone, and you keep your lip color kind of in the same color family as your cheek color, I think it can all work together. So, and then in keeping with that theme, I pulled out this Wet n Wild highlighting powder, and this is in the shade Blossom Glow. I don't even know if this color is still available, but it is kind of a cool pink color, and I just haven't used this in a while. Where's my brush? Use my MAC fan brush, and going to apply a little bit of this. And these Wet n Wild highlighters are actually quite nice. They are quite shimmery, so you gotta want that in a highlighter, but you can see that just has a real nice pink shift. Okay, I'm gonna tap in the lines under my eyes here. Any excess product, I've let that concealer set to where it's almost dried down. You can still feel a little bit of hydration there, but I'm gonna set it with the Lock-It, Kat Von D Lock-It powders. I don't know if these are still available, but I do love them. I'm gonna use, this is just a mini size of the Real Techniques contour brush, and I'm gonna put a little bit, this is the shade Petal. Start with that one, I think that's good. Just put a little bit of powder. I know that looks like I applied a lot. I just put a little bit on my brush, and now I'm just really buffing it off. For my eyebrows, this is a travel size, but it came in a dual set. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I have the shade 3.5. I had used 2 small samples of this and really liked it. So when I saw they had a value set of these two pencils, it's a travel size and then the full size together, I decided to make the purchase. Now I'm just going to quickly fill in my brows. Okay, now I'm gonna do something that's gonna seem crazy, and it might be, but I'm gonna take my M504 and I'm going to go into this purple shade. It's called Elizabeth, and I'm literally just going to tap my brush, tap it off, and I'm holding the brush way down here. I am just going to very, very lightly put this above those shimmer shades into the crease. And do you see what that did? Do you see this eye compared to this one? It just brings a hint of some pink to that crease. Do you see the difference? Yep, that's what that needed. All right, and then for the inner corner highlight, we're gonna go back to this one, which is Romeo. And I'm going to just place this right on the inner corner and just overlap that green just ever so slightly. Take my E30 and just blend those two shades together. All right. For mascara, I am gonna curl my lashes, but I don't know. I've tried this once already. I was not impressed. So I'm gonna try it with a primer today. This is the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift. You know that from the drugstore, my current new favorite is the Milani Highly Rated. But I'm gonna give this one another shot with the Origins Underwear for Lashes primer underneath. And let's see if it takes less than 5 coats. Okay, so that primer definitely helped. This is 2 full coats on the upper lashes, just 1 on the bottom. But we'll see how it wears. It's a weird formula. It's kind of like mousse-like. And yeah. Still not sure what I think of it, but it did not flake or smudge on me last time, so we'll see how it wears. All right, so now it's time for lips. Let me wipe off what I have on my lips right now. I'm gonna go around the edge with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. For my lips, I'm gonna start off with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Toulouse. My lipstick is one of my all-time favorites. It's Fabby by MAC. Can you see? I'm almost down to the bottom. And then I'm gonna add a tiny little bit of gloss. This is Oyster Girl. This is just a little mini from MAC. But I love this shade. I've had, I think, 2 of the full sizes that I have gone through. Love this shade. All right, so I fixed my hair and now here is the finished look. So you know me, I don't wear blue and green eyeshadow too often, but I actually really love this look. It's just really fun, and to me just looks like I had fun playing with makeup, right? So I hope that you too enjoyed coming along with me, playing with some makeup, and maybe this will inspire you to just take some time. I think we're all gonna have a little extra time on our hands, it seems, for the next couple weeks at least. So pull out your kind of crazy colored palettes and have some fun. Try on a little blue eyeshadow and see. You might actually really love it. As far as this palette goes, I really am enjoying it. I'm very impressed with the quality. So if these colors speak to you and you don't mind a decent number of shadows that have shimmer, I think you would really enjoy this palette. I will leave a link to their website down below. It's not an affiliate link or anything. I think if you go to Lisa J's channel, she does have a discount code. So I will link to her channel down below so you can use her discount code. But overall, I love it. And I think if you're a cool tone girl, you would love it too. Thank you as always so much for watching. I appreciate you coming along for this. I hope that it gave you a respite from all the craziness out there and just gave you something enjoyable and calming and peaceful to watch. I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.